And we are back in the arena, and today we are actually going to be going over a true Esper build around Urza. Now, from what I've played on this deck, we don't really get Urza out there all that much, but the Mightstone and the Weakstone is a very good card, and Urza Lord Protector is very good in and of itself. So we want to have a control build around them in order to actually disrupt the opponent's game plan, stall the game out long enough for Wandering Emperor, possibly Urza Planeswalker, and Teferi Temporal Pilgrim to do their work on the opponent and get the job done. We're doing this with having some Dinniks to make sure the opponent can do nothing out of the graveyard while Dinnik is on the field. Really nice card to have in today's meta going on right now. 4 copies of Void Rend, which is destroy target non-land permanent. It cannot be countered. Gets around a lot of the mono blue builds that we see out there that are just counter spells, this and that. A lot of people are running Make Disappear, etc, etc, etc. Void Rend gets around all of that. It is a little bit expensive for removal. Kaido's Shizuki, great way to be drawing cards, especially with wedding announcements in the deck. Wedding announcements are going to create the 1/1 human creature tokens. It's also going to give our creatures +1/+1 after 3 turns, and either drawing cards if we attack with 2 or more creatures, or creating another 1/1 human creature token. We'll have to play it by ear which one we want to really be doing. We all are familiar with Urza Lord Protector at this point. Artifact, instant, sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. We don't have a whole lot of that stuff in here except for Void Rends, but it won't hit that. Go for Throats, Impulses, those are going to be much cheaper. So is our Mightstone and Weakstone. So it's worth it to have this creature in here, especially whenever you can meld them into Urza Planeswalker, which is probably the most powerful Planeswalker in Standard right now by far. But you do have to do some shenanigans to get it going. Wandering Emperor's a bit of control, takes care of big creature decks. 2 depopulates in the main board just because aggro is so prevalent right now. We want to get that out here. We have a couple disenchants in the graveyard to get rid of those big old bad boy artifacts that come out all the time. And we do have a Lauren of the Third Pass as well, which destroys target artifact or enchantment. 2 more depopulates in the graveyard, and if we are dealing with a graveyard deck and Dinnik doesn't seem to be enough, then we could put these farewells in here and just exile graveyards. Yeah, this is the deck. And interesting enough, I have 4 copies of Eiganjo, Seat of the Empire, 4 copies of Takenuma, Abandoned Mire, because getting something out of the graveyard, maybe a Wandering Emperor, maybe even an Urza Lord Protector, etc, etc, seems very, very strong. We are actually running 26 land in this deck because, you know, we could get rid of those lands with the Kaido Shizuki. It has something to discard if we're not able to swing. And we also have the Celestus, which you draw a card, discard a card. Great way to get rid of those late game lands that you don't want into your hand. But also note that our deck is fairly expensive. It comes in at an average cost of 3.1. I tried to run this with fewer lands and it just did not work. So I added 2 Celestuses. Yes, this card right here, the Celsius card. We added 2 of those, and we will be discarding our lands later on in the game. Make sure that we are getting our land drops so that we could get into the game quicker than we otherwise would. We could also keep more clunky hands that have, you know, 2 lands, 3 lands. With an expensive deck, that's going to be super important to be able to do. To get to turn 3, have all 3 lands on the field. If we don't do that, we lose. So, just keeping that in mind, yeah, this is the deck. I have a very good reason to believe that this deck is very good. I've been playing with different renditions of it, and I just got it to this edition, but these games are long. These games do take a long time. I'm going to play 5 rounds, and we're going to see how this deck does. And I have had the habit of not remembering the wins and losses for the post-game wrap. I want to make sure I'm writing that down as we go. We are going into best of 3, so it will be basically we have to win 10 games in order for us to get our 5 wins. But in best of 3, we have more options for the sideboard. We have to make sure that we're hitting this stuff. And if we're hitting this stuff here, and we're able to change our deck based off of the positioning of our opponent, we're looking much better than if we were playing best of 1 and just hoping to God that this main stuff worked right here. Thank you for joining today. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Tomorrow's video, we are actually going to be covering more budget material, maybe showing off this kind of free deck that you can make in Magic the Gathering Arena if you just rearrange your starter decks just a little bit, right? But we're going to get into something interesting. We're going to be doing something a little bit different tomorrow, but this channel does a lot of budget stuff. I just wanted to really show off where I think Esper is at the time, because we all know that the meta always leans towards control in the end. Usually it starts with aggro and then moves into control. And I want to see what we're going to be seeing as the format progresses towards the end of the year. See where we end up. And I think this is kind of what we're looking at. Very expensive. Do not craft this deck if you are a budget player. If you have all this stuff, I mean, kudos on you. But yeah, my economy is looking a little bit bare right now just because I wanted to play around with this kind of stuff. I've been crafting things. I've been doing all kinds of crazy things that you should not do. But let's get into some matches and see how she rolls. Okay, good mana base. Urza, wedding announcement, really good to start with, and a Void Rend, huh? This is a decent start. Would have liked some more draw power here. Oh, opponent says hello. Well, hello there, sir. Or ma'am. You gotta Eiganjo. And go for the throat. Maybe we're putting this here, this here. Professional Face Breaker, we don't want to see him. Yep, he wasted one turn with the Hero's Heirloom, and then wasted a second turn with a Professional Face Breaker. So we're looking good, just kind of slowing the game down a bit, getting a wedding announcement out. Hopefully we draw land, but we do run 4 copies of Eiganjo, so wouldn't really mind throwing him down there. Okay. This is +2/+1. I don't think we're doing anything, and we're just going to Eiganjo. Get rid of that. We did not get our 4th land, which is really bad. We waste some more mana putting that on him. Equip 3, and whenever you attack with a samurai. Okay, so I don't think the equipping happens yet. I think we can still do this, and it goes away. Yeah. Good try. Good try. No mana yet. So we're swinging, and then we're going to do Impulse on our turn and try to drag a land out of our deck. Oh, our next 4 were lands. I'm actually kind of glad that, no, except for the Mightstone and the Weakstone. Kind of glad that we Impulse there. Land is great, but that is a little too much. And I don't think he has anything to interact with the Dinnick, but it does block graveyards off. Professional Face Breaker. We got a Void Rend. Okay. Adarkar Wastes. Again, I don't think we're doing much here. We could Wedding Announcement, but we really want to Wandering Emperor. No attacks. Nah, you're good, buddy. We could also Void Rend if he does not swing. He does swing. This guy doesn't remind me of a guy that has any kind of interaction. He seems to just want to play creatures and artifacts. So we're going to take advantage of that.
My judgment is final.
What else you got? Esper? Well, you're going to keep throwing creatures out there. I'm going to keep killing them. Brass Knuckles is not a good draw. He will get some damage off here. Oh no, because he has Summoning Sickness. Cool. Kill it. We still have not been able to draw mana. Which, as you saw, I have 26 in the deck. So, I don't know what's going on. We did shuffle away 2 lands a little bit earlier with our Impulse. He is still trying for it. Oh my word. Still no mana, but looks like we just don't need mana. We just need 2 costing removal spells. There's a pause here. Does he have a way to protect him? He might, or he might just be gone. Nope, goes away. And we'll plus get it on the Dinnick. We also want our Dinnick getting larger.
Show them how we greet our enemies.
To be able to block some of these creatures and get the lifelink. Opponent goes down to 1, still in the match. So we drop a Wedding Announcement and pass it back. He could have a board wipe, but I highly doubt it. Doesn't seem like the type. There's a land. 1 life remaining. Easy peasy. Brutal Cathar looks really good. Maybe in place of... Cutdowns could go away. They're not going to help hardly at all. Lauren actually looks pretty decent too. Destroy some of those artifacts and stuff. But there's not really a whole lot I want to replace here. Maybe we're actually getting some disenchants instead. Impulse kind of bailed us out in that last round, so we're not getting rid of that. But I think Farewells instead of Depopulates. Now we'll go down 1 Mightstone and Weakstone and 1... Oh, I don't want to get rid of any of this stuff. 1 Dinnick. Dinnick is only good in here because of the lifelink. Rafine's Otawara. Takenuma and the Deserted Beach, Urza, and the Mightstone and Weakstone. We could just draw some lands. Get the Kaido really going. 2 Urzas is 1 too many. Not what we wanted. The Katana. We have drawn no removal. We'll pass. We'll impulse on our turn. Make him think we have something. And now we need removal. I don't see it yet. We'll grab the Wedding Announcement. Very cute, opponent. Okay. Not looking good for us. About a third of our deck has removal. And we don't have any of it. We're going to be taking the damage here. Down to 12. Facebreaker. Hahaha. Still no removal. No help at all from the deck. Okay. Yeah, this deck will melt if you cannot draw anything that you need. More mana from the opponent and an Aster. I don't think there's any way out of it. I think we have to go to a round 3. but we'll try. Oh my god. Well, yep, let's go to round 3. And that is how the deck melts you. 26 lands, can't draw any of them. Maybe cutdowns would be decent in here. I'm going to add these Infernal Grasps. And we're actually going to take the disenchant out. These aren't the artifacts and stuff that I'm scared of. If we could just keep creatures off of the field, we win. Flavors. We're going to have to be a little bit more stingy on what we keep, apparently. And this looks good. We do have the Go for Throat. We have a Void Rend. Good mana base. We'll start with the Shipwrecked Marsh. Maybe we get something so we can keep our Eiganjo alive. Takenuma. Okay. Okay, he uses his first turn to do the whatchamacallit. Do we want the Emperor or do we want the Brutal Cathar? Or do we want the Farewell? There's a lot of really good options here. The smart choice is to take the land, but that's also the boring option. I think we go Brutal Cathar. But I want to have fun. There we go. We got Void Rend up. Professional Facebreaker. We'll go for its throat. Kill it dead. Mana. We go Kaido here.
Hope you're ready for some mind games.
Might as well try to do a little bit of tempo-y stuff. Even though we're playing control. We got a lot of options, so... Okay, Facebreaker comes out. 5th land. Should we do more tempo stuff? Get the Brutal Cathar out. Sure. I guess he can't block the rogue anyway. So we could have actually swung, then drew.
I know something.
3 Void Rends. That's actually brutal for the opponent. You gonna kill it? You do. Okay. Let's draw a card. Hopefully it's a land. How many lands do you need to run? Absolutely insane. We have enough for the Celestus, and we could Void Rend. We want to keep Kaido alive. That's the only way we're going to be able to draw some cards. Ancestral Katana. Opponent down to 2 cards. A lot of land for him. Does he pay? Yes. Now Void Rend. Wanted him to pay that extra mana. Another one. We did it. We drew land. Boom. Swinging out, hitting the opponent, drawing a card. Takenuma.
Something you don't know.
We get the Brutal Cathar back. We need to keep 3 up. So we just end turn here. 2 Urzas is 1 too many. Could have a backup Urza, but I think we're doing just fine. Yep. There we go. You gonna pay for it? Of course he is. Get rid of it. We could kill one of those, but I'm not worried about it. I'm more worried about getting the creatures off of the field. Another Celestus. Let's draw. Almost clicked the
Now
wrong
this
button there.
is a juicy secret.
3. We would need 1 more mana to really make that work. But we can get a Dinnick on the field. Move on. Astor. Looks good. He has to know what I'm going to do. Yes. Okay. Wandering Emperor. A little premature, but hey, he's out. Yeah, that didn't take nearly as long as I thought it would. Not nearly. 2 mana hand. We do have an Impulse, though. And a Dinnick. Cut down. Could be good, but I think I'd be spelling my... Or I'd be dead. I think I'd be dead. Okay, this is fine. We get rid of Go for the Throat. Go for the Throat hits everything. Cut down does not. We have terrible land. 26 in deck. Not sure why the arena does this to me. But hey, I'm a glutton for punishment. And we basically have the exact same hand that we had in the first try there. In the first mulligan, to be more specific. Okay, maybe the draw deck. Got a backwater, got a swamp. We impulse on opponent's turn, or we go for throat, depending on what he plays. Tapped land. Tainted Indulgence. Well, we will impulse. Wandering Emperor seems okay. We do have our 3rd land right here, the Sanctum. And then we could either go for the Throat and Void Rend, or we can Wedding Announcement and start to get some action on the field. Depopulate actually doesn't seem very good in this matchup. He's Demir, and he hasn't played anything except for drawing some cards. He's discarded a Lore Master. He has a mana pass kind of deck, huh? Okay. We're not blocking, so we're swinging. And we Dinnick. Hold up the Go for the Throat. Might have locked him out of the graveyard. Haughty Jin. And not enough mana to really protect him. Yes, there is. Because there's always the whatchamacallit. But, gotta try. Yep. Okay, if that's the case, opponent says nice. He thinks he's gotten out of it, but he's now tapped out. So, we wipe the field. I'm going to say nice. Neat little combo there. Basically copying Haughty Jin's. Opponent says thanks. He's a clever one. He says oops for some reason. Void Rend cannot be countered, but he could do things to make it to where it does nothing. But if we get the Celestis out this turn, we allow ourselves to set up a Void Rend. Cannot be countered, but he can target his creature. He sacks it. He sacks it himself. Gets a life gain, gets some cards. Shelly. Very nice. We will draw. We will resolve. Yep, go with the Dinnick. And past turn, it's very obvious that I'm holding a Wandering Emperor. He does kill the Dinnick. He wants in that graveyard, I believe. I only have one card in hand. Does he think it's a Wandering Emperor, though? That's the real question. Pops the Waterfront District, draws a card. Those are actually pretty decent lands. Come in tapped, but you could draw a card off of them later. He swings. We Wandering Emperor. Ooh, it resolves. It resolves. Targeting the Shieldred. Okay, he kills the Wandering Emperor, but I still exile the
This is what you
Shieldred.
get for hurting my people.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the next card. It is also a land. Let's get rid of the Adarkar Wastes. And get Dinnick Pious Apparition out there. It's a 4/3 in the air. Mana. Gains a life. Shieldred. Alright. Opponent down to 20. We are going to keep drawing cards.
Kamigawa fill my family. There's no secret I can't uncover.
Nah. He phases out. I was thinking about going with the Celestus. Okay, a second Vesuvian Diplomacy. So we know what we're facing now. Plenty of removal in the deck, which means we're drawing again.
I know something you don't.
Whale. This is going to be... They're going to tap. And we got a blocker. We do have a blocker. Ooh. We have a blocker and an Eiganjo up. Siphon Insight. We don't have any counter spells in here, so that's really good. He's down to basically what I have. Urza plays him immediately. Siphon Insight. Digs a little deeper in my own deck. Wonder what he has. Mana. He got a mana out of it. Goes after the Shelly. No cards in hand. No danger at all. We get to investigate, and I will. Mightstone and the Weakstone. Decline? Urza. Ooh, I almost threw it down. Almost fat fingered my way into a loss there. Definitely drawing off of the Kaido now that that Shieldred is gone.
There's no secret I can't uncover.
And we'll get the Mightstone and the Weakstone ready to roll. He's just top decking. Just completely dismantle the opponent. Look at that. And we get a 2/2 human. Haughty Jin. Not good enough. Not near good enough. Draws a Teferi, Temporal Pilgrim. And now we can transform. I didn't know if I was going to be able to transform in this video, but hey.
Anything made can be unmade.
Exile, might as well.
This doesn't concern you.
Putting back down to nothing. Drawing card for turn.
Now this is a juicy secret.
There's a Void Rend. There's an Eiganjo. Opponent said, oops, I'm going to say sorry. I will draw a card. Probably Depopulate goes away. Could be a mistake, probably not. Siphon Insight is not going to help. It could. Opponent is sticking around. I mean, gotta respect a guy for that. Again, Siphon Insight. He probably didn't like what he got right there. Which I don't mind. Okay. Mightstone and the Weakstone. He's gonna kill something. Probably the Dinnick. He does. And we'll go to my turn. I kind of do want to do that. Rafine's Tower can go to the bin. Draw 2 cards, discard a card.
You are
Discarding the land.
outmatched.
And let's start to create 0/0s.
Perfectly obedient, as all soldiers should be.
Swing away and Teferi. Now we're showing him this Teferi, but at this point I'm just pushing him out of the game.
Here I am.
Just pushing him out. Yeah, we definitely want these Infernal Grasps over the board wipes. Go, no, I don't want to go down one of those. Don't be crazy. Maybe one Dinnick. He's not reaching into his graveyard hardly at all. If he does, I would be highly, highly surprised. Brutal Cathars also seem to be okay here. We definitely want the 4 wedding announcements. We definitely want all of the removal we could find. All of it. Kaido definitely does not go away, but something has to. Probably the cut downs. His creatures are kind of big boys. Creatures are kind of big boys. We have no turn 1 plays at all. Very few turn 2 plays. Two mana. Seems to happen all the time with this deck, so kind of used to it. We're going to roll with it. Takenuma. Got our 3rd land. No blue mana, though. Well, we do have the Celestus. Thopter. We could lose this just based off of our bad mana base. Fairy Vandal. Where's that board wipe? There we go. And there we go. Celestus comes back into action, baby. Surveil 2, draw a card. This is the draw deck. Opponent just didn't get lucky enough to get any of it last match. Boy, oh boy. Wish I didn't take those board wipes out. They're going back in. So the real question is, he's got the Fairy Vandal in the air. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to definitely take that action. Brutal Cathar is better than Urza. Siphon Insight, I'm not scared of. I'm just writing down my last round, the last victory. 3-0 so far. Double swing. Try to hit this Fairy Vandal. We did it. Mana for turn, and now we Brutal Cathar. Oh, it is night. Lovely. Oh, we'll double spell. Yep. 100% planned. Okay, Infernal Grasp on the Brutal Cathar. But we do sneak an action out of his hand. Or a card, an action. Get out of here. Urza not looking good in this matchup, so we're gonna dump him. Trade? He has a land up, so I am no fool. I am no fool. Mana. This is 3. Void Rend is 2. It is day. We want to swing. We want to Kaido. We want to draw.
Right by, but there's no secret I can't uncover.
He only has the 1 mana up. If it's hexproof, then we're hurting. If not, we're looking good. Mana. We're down to 10 health, but we can start drawing cards with the Kaido. We're behind in lands by a couple. Henrika draws a card. Each player sacks a creature. Okay. That actually oddly works for me. A couple things we could do here. We could just... Nah, we're not going to make a ninja. We're going to cast Dinnick from the graveyard. 3/2. Make a ninja.
I've got all kinds of connections.
Let him think we're running out of things. But we got Eiganjo, we got Mightstone, Weakstone. Draw some cards off of the Mightstone, Weakstone most likely. But, okay, Shelly. Nope, we're killing Shelly with the Mightstone and Weakstone. There we go. Swing. Thank you so much. You actually made my life a lot easier. Gets to investigate, and we will. Draws a Takenuma. Brutal Cathar's down there. Draw. Resolve. Down to 6. Down to 4. Ugh, I don't like it. We need to get cards. That's not good. Cancel. We'll just swing with the 1/1. Puts a little bit of pressure on the opponent. But we need to find a way out of this.
Secret.
Okay. Pop it. Wedding announcement. That could actually almost save us. Mana. We do have the Mightstone and Weakstone and an Urza, so keep that in mind as well. Dude, my stuff is not good for you. Quit using Siphon Insight. It's good for me. Haughty Jin. Okay, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, Urza Planeswalker. So this is the second time he's got to see Urza Planeswalker from us.
In need of testing.
Lovely. We're probably just gaining life here.
Ramp up production immediately.
Up to 6 life. Drawing a card from Kaido.
Now, what do we have here?
Wow, second time Urza Planeswalker against the same guy. Dinnick. He had a Dinnick from me. Duplomacy. Also good. Now, beauty about Siphon Insight and why I actually don't ever play Siphon Insight is That goes by hand. That goes to my hand. Exiling that.
Necessary cost.
I think we draw some cards. Ditching the mana.
Secrets have we unearthed?
What else can we ditch? We could ditch... No, we'll play a wedding announcement. And then we'll play that Dinnick that he gave us. And then we're going to plus on the Kaido Shizuki. The Forever turn is here. Welcome to Esper Control. Nobody's playing Control right now. Yep, he scoops it up. So far, we did 2 rounds. We are completely undefeated. We're moving on to the final match. The final match. If you haven't already, make sure you've liked the video and subscribed to the channel so that you can see, well, more shenanigans in the arena. Black, blue, white. Teferi. Emperor wedding announcement. Not the strongest hand, not the weakest. But hopefully I'm not tilted from that last round. Let's see. Wedding announcement is always a really good turn 3. Okay, the infantry is out. We're gonna do it like this. We have the Emperor, so I'm not too scared of that infantry. Make the opponent run out of cards. That seems like this kind of a deck. Unless he's playing like a mono red control kind of build. Could be strong. Scry's to top. That's not good. Opponent very slow to react. We get a rope before the swing. You're red. You're going to be swinging. You're the aggressive deck. I am the passive deck. Swift Spear. Yeah. Nope. No attacks. Moving on. We have Wandering Emperor mana up. And he understands that, but he also understands that he is mono red. And he has 2 Mishra Foundries. He's powering it up, too. Okay. Swings with everything.
I'm not overconfident.
Now,
I
think we take this out as well. We're slow deck. He needs to be fast. And we've just dismantled him. Mightstone and Weakstone. We're going to do -5/-5 on the Swift Spear. And then we're going to plus on the Wandering Emperor and submit 0. Can still lose the Emperor. But we're actually sitting in a pretty decent spot. Mana. Obliterating Bolt. So that's 2 mana gone for the opponent. And another card out of the hand. Down to 3 cards. Where is his Jaya? A Lightning Strike. Okay. I'm actually fine with all of those things. Teferi.
Doesn't mean we have to be overly serious.
He definitely has a lot more removal, but this little spirit here, that's powerful against this deck. Mana again. Oh, mono red. Only 2 cards left. Bloodthirsty Adversary. Does he pump? We're going to cut it down anyway. Kind of want to cut it down. That's on top of the stack. There you go. What you doing? He does pay for it. He wants to do like a lightning bolt, probably on the Teferi. But he really needs to get rid of that spirit. Play with fire on the Teferi. Okay.
Mind is willing, but the body, it hurts.
And get some lifelink going on. Moving on. We got 7 damage on the field. Kind of turned this one around on you, didn't we? Got 16 health to get through from the opponent. Another electrostatic infantry. 1 card in hand. It is a Kumano Faces Kakazan. Good card. Yeah, let's kill this. Boom. We'll get him into top decking. I mean, he'll get a 2-2 out of this, but he can't fight this field. Get a Takenuma, which is very interesting indeed. Wait. Let me look at this. Cards in graveyards cannot be the targets of spells of abilities. Can't remember how that works. We're going to find out how that works. This is for science. I know people in the comments are going to be screaming, "What are you doing?" Ah, it does work that way.
No matter the time or place,
That is good to
I'm ready
know.
win.
You could Dinnick and Takenuma.
Nobody knows the past better than me.
Good game, opponent says. Draws a card. There's no way he's winning this. There's his Jaya.
Of course you should fight fire with fire. You should fight everything with fire.
Fighting everything with fire. Gets a monk.
Impress me.
And he scoops. As well he should. Infernal Grasps looking good. Brutal Cathar looking pretty weak. I've been saying that a lot with the Brutal Cathar. Yes, all of the removal. All of the removal. We don't need to draw these cards here. We can go down 1. Mightstone and Weakstone. We already did Urza today. We don't need to do Urza again. Urza Planeswalker, that is. Two Urzas, 1 Kaito. Kaito, we got Kaito. But I think that's a little bit awkward. And this is a little bit better because of the Void Rend. I don't know. The Kaito looked pretty good, but also kind of slow. And we want to be pretty fast to our counter magic. To our spells, to our removal. Wow, words. Just like this. I will pay 3 life to destroy that. Opponent, Kumano Faces Kakazan. That opens up a door so that we could Wedding Announcement. Probably destroying the 1/1. I would. After watching me dismantle him last round. We want the Eiganjo to go after a creature. Mana. Come on, this is a great time to play a creature. You got your Kumano Faces Kakazan on chapter 2. Nothing. Kind of wanted something there. Well, get rid of that. Boom. I hate to do it, but we're going to play the Eiganjo, Seat of the Empire, to make sure that we're getting our land drops. We've got another Void Rend in hand, and it's a Teferi whenever... oh, that's really weak. Really weak opponent. Passes back. Just no more heart, huh? Swings. Goes to next. Takes the damage. We Kaito Suzuki. And we definitely plus on him. This gets him away from single removals, or at least all those damage spells that we've seen from the opponent so far. We get a Rafine's Tawa. That's a nice little mana drop. Kaido Shizuki phases out for a turn. We get another card, Otawara's Soaring City. Could be helpful, actually. Chandra, dress to kill. Got a Chandra.
Without the sun, I'll light your way.
Oh, you'll light my way? Thanks, sweetheart. Okay. Okay, gets some mana.
I'd love to.
Deals the damage to me. Hate to say it, Mono Red, but I'm not that scared. Right to the face. Draws a card. Go for the throat is really good. We kill that Chandra.
Aw, party's over.
Okay. And then we pass. Yep. Here comes the etchings of Kumano. Let's see what you got. Rending Flame. He kills it. Okay.
Oh, there will be a next time.
Yeah, there will be a next time. Swings. Cut down. Opponent at 15 health still. We haven't been able to really deal a lot of damage. Swing. Down to 13. Dinnick. And Urza. Doesn't seem like a kind of burn down the house kind of deck. So... and if he is, we have the Teferi Temporal Pilgrim to follow up. Electrostatic Infantry. And I am so sorry, opponent. That's not good at all. That's okay. Gets rid of my most dangerous creature. Swing into the opponent. Teferi, and let's start to close this game off.
I might not win.
We're kind of top decking, but so is he. And we also have a draw engine with Teferi here. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Teferi is dead. No. He hits the oh, the 2/2. Okay. I could live with this. I could definitely live with this. Nope, I cannot live with this.
Just keeps getting worse.
Yes, I can. I forgot, the opponent is allowed to sometimes play magic.
You started this fight,
Yep.
but I'm going to.
Yep.
My judgment is final.
So who said control wasn't good right now? That completely dismantled everybody. The only deck that won was that blue, red, black. And there's no way he's going to get out of this. 3 damage. I'm just swinging. Get out of my arena. Cool. So let's go in and look at the deck again and do a post-game wrap. We're going to talk about what was strong, what was weak. What was strong? The removal. What was weak? Well, I actually don't know, because I was going to say, I was coming into this post-game wrap thinking I was going to talk about how Urza was actually a little bit weaker than you would want in a deck like this, but the Mightstone and the Weakstone is so versatile. It is expensive, but you're always going to have land with this deck, usually too much land, and Urza Lord Protector is a decent blocking body, especially if you have a couple of wedding announcements on the field. So, like, I think this might be where Control is leaning towards. A lot of removal of black, some wedding announcements, splashing that blue in there for those impulses, especially Dinnick, Kaido Suzuki, Teferi, the draw engine, constantly drawing cards with those blue cards, and Dinnick keeps people out of the graveyards. And then once you get later into the game, Farewells get rid of graveyards, so we're not having this big enchantment kind of stuff that comes in and hurts us. Also, one of the most important cards, and it's surprising to me, is Lauren of the Third Path. For Control, this card is incredibly important because when you have a standard with a lot of artifacts and enchantments that are coming into play and getting value over time, having something that kills one of them, the most threatening one of those, is going to be super important. It's going to get you through a lot of things. Brutal Cathar, I think, might be the weakest card in this deck, which is incredible to say, especially from a few years back. Let's go over the stats. We lost the 4th round, right? But I literally had 3 lands and could not draw another land. The first round, I kept the weird, awkward hand, won the second round, and then lost the 3rd round. 2, not drawing any lands at all. We lost 1 round in round 3, but overall, we were 9-3 with this deck. 9 wins, 3 losses. I'm going to do the math on that, see exactly what that win rate is, and the spoiler will be in the title of the video, actually. I think this deck is very good. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for joining today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.